when you finally got a buck on camera, can you walk us through your mindset of picking out a tree, or did you ever sit on the ground to bow hunt, or did you always try to find a tree to get in? Like, what was going through your mind to find the right setup once you get the pattern in order to try to kill that deer in and around that creek?
Well, the tree thing is for both. I mean, I was hunting on the ground a lot back then because I hate carrying stuff in early season. Like I got my chest rig, my bow, and I might have a bottle of water in my pocket. And then other than that, I had that turkey stool with my cushion on top of it. That was so much easier than going in, finding a tree, hanging some sticks, getting elevated. And then you're having to worry about swirling winds in the early season where I can sit my butt on the ground right there and I got a heck of a lot less fingerprint of scent when I'm sitting on the ground, and especially in those creek bottoms. You know, when you've got a ridge over here and a ridge over here, well, when that wind's coming over, or maybe it's coming down like this, it's meeting somewhere and it's causing that eddy. Well, when you're on the ground, if you can get at the end of that eddy or whatever, your scent profile, whatever you want to call it, fingerprint is so much smaller that you have to deal with your scent cone. But most of the time back then I was hunting off the ground. I still do a lot of ground hunting early season, but here recently I've been getting like I've got 6 sets of sticks. And a day like today, if I find a great spot that I know will start producing come fall when I can hunt it, I'll just hang a set of sticks. And that way when I go in and with that saddle, I'll just wear my saddle in. The most sweat I've got is going up, hanging a platform and stepping up on it and hanging my bow. But when it comes to finding a tree, everything is scent based and what you have for shots, because you really don't need more than like 2 shot windows. Early season bucks are not running. They're basically cruising. They're doing a lot more stepping and looking than walking, you know? So if you've got 2 good shot windows to take, even if they're just holes, the more the better, obviously, but the more you've got so much cover early season, which is another reason I love early season, because you can get away with a lot. But the perfect tree is really going to be anything I can get on the backside of and just get a couple of good windows with a ton of cover.
Do you see, especially now since you switched over to saddle, ever how many years ago, do you see an advantage of being on the backside of the tree with the saddle for creek crossings versus being on a lock on or climber where you're on the front of the tree?
Oh yeah, which I always hunted with a lock on the backside, kind of canny. So if my trail is right, let's say right towards you, or where I expect the deer to come from, I'll kind of set my platform like this to where I can lean around and see around the tree. But when it comes time to shoot, I can get way over here and still shoot, have my shots. But you've got that benefit of that tree being in between you. The saddle has just made it that time that much better. Plus, it's so much easier to get in a tree with. The only thing you're dealing with is your bridge or whatever your tether trying to draw, but that's really a non-issue. Once you do it a couple of times, you figure it out real quick. I mean, first time I ever wore a saddle was a couple of years ago. I went in and I had a spot where I had a bunch of does I just wanted to shoot. And I said, all right, this is the perfect time. I went in and I hung it to where I was looking at the tree and my shot opportunity was over here, and it worked out perfect. The deer came in. She was standing there. I drew and shot, and I was like, this is a piece of cake. I don't know what everybody's about, you know? But I can see an issue when you're trying to lean way out and maybe get a different where I don't know. I haven't run into that issue yet, but I try to think ahead whenever I'm setting up for that specific reason.
So,
and then, Aaron Warburton, I saw him one time where he would like take duck his shoulder underneath the tether or the bridge, whatever. I still get them confused which one's which. And then just put your back up against the tree and you can still shoot another 60 degrees this way. So, yeah, like I said, I haven't run into any issues yet. We'll see.